Alright, let's queue up another Naya Enigmatic game here. Let's see what happens. Being on the play is always nice in Pioneer. Other than this 7-drop, this is fine. I have removal. This Blood Mage and this Titan are basically dead cards, but I'll go Jet Mirror, Sacred Foundry, Beanstalk, and I also have removal as well. So I think that's fine. If you play Modern at all, you'll know just like a Beanstalk 4-color control deck is really, really good. That's basically what we're trying to emulate here. At least this Naya Enigmatic list and these Beanstalks. So we're just going to play spells, play removal, control the board state, and then eventually just kill our opponents with our big 7s, things like that. So we don't really have to worry about that. And honestly, I've been thinking about putting a main deck board wipe. I'm still going to play this Beanstalk out. Because if I draw a Binding next turn, I can play the Rafine's Tower, and then I draw a card off of it. It's a pretty good draw. We'll play the Rafine's Tower, gives us the blue for the Enigmatic, and we can hold up Fateful Absence. This is just green-black mid-range, it looks like. Okay, that's fine. Bid Reunion's pretty decent, because then I can just discard this Titan. I probably want to hold onto the Blood Mage, seeing that it's green-black, just kind of mid-range. They're probably going to be relying on their graveyard to a degree. Hopefully they play Glissa. So this is like a green-black lands deck. Let's play the Hallowed Fountain so we can diversify our mana. Okay. We're just going to exile this Courser. Them drawing a land next turn is pretty nice for us. We might just play this Callous Blood Mage next turn to draw a card. Definitely going to change that next turn. And we might actually even cycle this other chain just to draw a card off of we would go get Spirited Companion. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to play the tap Sacred Foundry. I'm going to attack for 2. Maybe I should have played this post-combat. Case for some reason the Abzan, or the, Golgari deck has a flash threat. Go for the throat. Yeah, no, this is literally the corner case of why I should have played this Chain of the Rock post-combat. But next time. I mean, slight punish, but I don't think this 3/3 is going to really matter. Yeah, that's nice. We'll go ahead and Fateful Absence this illusion then, since that's happening. That way we don't go behind. Okay, so this is gonna ramp them next turn. We only have 1 green. The alternative is just play a Fable here, which I think is probably just better. I guess I could also just Beseiju it, but then that ramps them. I don't think that's worth it either. So I think Fable's probably just the right answer anyways. And then I'm not gonna... No. Let's go ahead and play this out. I'm just gonna draw a card. I don't think I need... I'm not pressured in any way, and I think I'd just much rather develop to the board here. And then that's a great draw. I may just go get like an Overgrown Tomb or something here. Comes in tapped, but yeah, it's still pretty good for him. Lily and Vraska. Yeah, this is just green black rock, but Pioneer. This is basically just worse Rakdos, and we can eat Rakdos for lunch, so this is going to be just as easy. I think it looks like they have a little bit better cards in terms of enchantment removal because they have green, but that's just fine. So they have a Grimflayer and a Consuming Blob. What on earth? Equal to the number of card types, so it's and it okay, so it's a Tarmogoyf, but for card types. At the beginning of your end step, create a copy of it. Huh. I mean, that's pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna discard land. We'll probably hold on to the throwback. That's a good draw. Let's go ahead and attack. This is end step. Beginning of your end step. That's fine, because that's works pretty well into the face of like just a deputy. This. We could put Yorion in hand, and that's probably a good play. I'm going to sack the Spirited Companion. And I'm going to be needing removal next turn, not right now. So I'm going to keep the removal in the deck. So that means I'm just going to get Wandering Mind and just draw another card here. If I find a Valak... Okay, if I find a Leyline, that would have been great. But next turn we can do Fires into Yorion. I want to keep all the cards, as Valakut Awakening is not going to be worth it, so I'll just get Fires. And we'll just go attack for just 2, probably. Because they'll play the blob, and I probably can't get any ground blockers in. Ground attacks in. Yeah. I mean, that's really cool. The fact that it costs 5 mana, I think, is what makes this card really bad. That's a good draw. So actually we could go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We attack with the Wandering Mind and the Goblin Shaman, and then we'll get to draw more cards. Who doesn't love cards? And they should, I mean, there's no trick here, so they shouldn't. They should just definitely block this Goblin Shaman, yeah. Alright. So cast this, and the alternative would have been Fires into this, and that actually I could have played all of it. I would draw 3 less cards though. So, I mean, we're winning this game by a lot, so I don't know if the 3 cards would have mattered, but it's always better against a discard deck to have more cards. And so this will be one of the cases in which having the Wandering Mind will be better because I get to go draw an extra card here as opposed to just doing a do-nothing tutor. Enigmatic first. Let's pull all this stuff back with Yorion. This... exile their graveyard. Beanstalk Mind. Fires. See, that's 6 lands that we would not have want to have drawn. But that's really bad, because I wanted to go get that. But these blobs are... Oh. Oh, does the copy not have the +1? Powers equal to another card types, and its toughness equal to that +1. Because it blocked. Got you. Okay. So... now that the deputy's gone, it's a little bit more awkward. But these are no longer threats to me, so I can just go get... Heliod? Is Heliod worth it here? We're just so far ahead, I don't think it's worth really much. We already used our Skyclave? Yeah. They have no cards in hand. Oh, yeah. Let's just get Heliod. They have no cards in hand. Like, this is... We're on garbage time now. Let's get the change of the rocks. Let's get the bitter reunion. Yeah, okay. Good. So I was going to get the bitter reunion because then I could have hasted a Chandra. We're definitely doing rest in peace since they're relying on their graveyard. I want to have my sideboard cards here. We're going to get a Supreme Verdict in case that ooze gets out of hand. Probably the same thing with Lockdown since they're playing Grim Players. Maybe even Bank Busters, but the other cards they're going to be playing is going to be like Glissas and looks like Planeswalker, so maybe actually this isn't useful. Let's start siding, and then we'll see if I have cuts for them. The Redain goes out. It's not going to do anything in this matchup for us. I want to keep all of this stuff, all of the 2-drops, all of the removal here. I can see a world maybe in... I don't think I cut the frill back. Maybe one Fable, just as a trim. Coma can probably come out here. And then I don't think I see any other things I want to cut right now, so I'll just pull the lockdowns back out. And then if I need them, if I see more 2-drops and we get to game 3, we'll do that. Again, this is just worse red-black mid-range, so highly, highly favored in this game. No lands is an obvious mulligan. This is a lot better because we have a turn. We have a lot of options here. I'm going to put back the dog. This way I have removal, card draw on 2, or I have the rest in peace. I'm going to probably go for the rest in peace right away. And we have instant domain, turn 2 domain, so I'm really happy for that too. I mean, turn 2 domain is literally the best you can hope for. Since I haven't developed to the graveyard yet, so what do they just got? They just got 2 lands. They got a forest, which is what they played. So I'm just gonna draw with Beanstalk since they're not developing their graveyard. Because if they see me play the rest in peace, I mean, yes, I'm opening it up to a potential, Thoughtseize here, but then they wouldn't be taking other things. But this primarily lets me force them to develop into their graveyard. So they have the Blob next turn. We're just gonna play the Fable because I don't. They are not giving me any pressure, so I can just develop. I'm actually pretty sufficiently happy with all the cards in my hand. I may just discard the frill back because I have this rest in peace. Lily. -2, -1, so kills Wandering Mind. Just straight up. Mill 2 cards, return a creature. Yeah, absolutely. Field to run, okay. Destroy target non-land permanent, mana value 3 or less, so they destroy with Fable. They should. Okay. That's a good play actually, because then unless I draw another land, I'm not playing this Fires next turn. And that's part of why I wanted this Fable, was to get to the land. But there we go. So I actually think I don't discard anything here, because what the throwback can do is it can kill the Courser and exile their graveyard. It's also a beater here. I also have the rest in peace. Probably what I want to do is not even play the Fires this turn. I just go Chains the Courser and Fateful the the Lily when it comes down. The Vraska I'm not too worried about. So I guess... Do I have 2 whites to even do both of those? I do. Oh, I know, and they already played this swamp, so I don't know anything that's in their hands. I just say no, we're just not gonna discard anything. Let's get the fires out, even though I said I'm not going to. Let's just get this Courser out, prevent them from attacking and gaining life and sacking things with this Vraska. Right, because they could sacrifice the Courser to draw another card, otherwise they have to use the field. And actually they can just field the Stomping Ground here, and that's totally okay. Yeah. Because now they're spending 2 mana to... and not turning me off my domain just to get their Courser back. And then they go to 2 mana, so they need another land to even play their Lily. Whispers of Emrakul. Discard a card at random. Is there 4 more cards? That player discards 2 cards. So that's just him to Turok. That's interesting. What just happened? They traversed, found a forest, played a forest. Okay. So now I get to cast this. Play green and green. Done. Let's destroy and exile. Destroy, exile. They're drawing Binding of the Old Gods next turn. So I just want to draw cards. I mean, they have a Lily, they haven't played it. They have this Vraska. It's like not. Yeah, I just have no pressure all the time in the world. I don't need to blink this because I don't have any mana to pay for it. I don't need to blink the fires for the same reason. I don't have anything to do after. I wish we had like bounce lands or something similar in Pioneer, so you could like pick back up your Otawaras and Bosages and things when you play them. It'd be really good in something like Lotus Field, because then they can tap and untap a dual land, which is like a big deal. So it would be kind of bad, and they can also pick up Balageds and Otawaras and Bosages also, so it would be pretty bad for them. But I mean, I think it would be just interesting. They're probably going to target the Yorion or the Fires. I would imagine the Yorion, it's more of a threat to them than the Fires at the moment. Because it's 4 damage versus just, I don't know. But it's a hard choice, I think, and yeah, you can see they're kind of deliberating. I do think in the end that that's the right choice. That's cool. -9. Whenever creature control. -9. Okay, yeah, we'll just kill this Vraska. Yeah, I've had this rest in peace, and I just haven't even needed it either. So what we can do... Let's give this back. Chain to the rocks. I mean, we could flip this Helion, but it doesn't do anything for me because I have this fire, so I can't cast on my turn anyways. So I just do it to be mana efficient, I guess. Let's just keep playing lands, because if I find one of my 7 drops, I can play it. 4 or 5, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, if I find one of my 7 drops, I can play it. Yeah. I can just make them scared of the fact that I can play with Heliod, but, you know, I mean, the fire says it can't, so. Tis what it is. They are down a lot of resources. Like I said, just worse Rakdos, right? And I haven't been hit by any Thoughtseize or Duress or anything like that. Yeah, there we go. See, there's just a really commanding board states. I have these two beanstalks. Like, well, I have nothing in my hand. They don't really know that. They don't have 4 cards. I just got back a chained. So anything they play creature-wise, I just immediately remove it, and then I just keep attacking for, you know, 9 every turn. So I guess red black or not red black, green black. The rock in Pioneer is not good. I didn't see any glisses. If they had Gliss, Gliss would have been really good because I can just attack and connect and keep destroying my enchantments, and that's really great. There's some new cards I think that are coming out that are gonna make the green black rock deck a lot better in Pioneer. There's that new like Tarmogoyf kind of replacement. That's the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Would be way better than that blob. That blob 5 mana is just really bad, and maybe that's what they're testing. Is they're testing how does the green black deck look just overall, and then this blob becomes that better thing. I think they remember there being another. It was like 2 or 3 mana creature for green black that looked really good too. I'm actually gonna look it up because I'm curious and it seems fun. I think what is it, LCI? Is that what this is? Yeah, it's that LCI color. Let's pull this out here so you guys can see. It's a color green black. Yeah, let's see. I think it's this guy. 1 green black to send 4. As long as there are 4 permanent cards in your graveyard, it gets +2/+2. So that plays well with the Grim Flare plan they're already on, and they're going to be milling with Grizzly Salvage and Witherbloom commands if they choose to do that. Descend 8. If there are 8 or more permanents in your graveyard, it gets an additional +2/+2. And can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. So then it's going to become a 7/7 for only 3 mana. So this is like okay early on. But, you know, when I draw this later in the game, it's a 3 mana 7/7. It's really good. Oh, and it has trample. So it has trample and can't be blocked more than 1 creature. So that's really good. So the first one gives it +2/+2. Trample goes to a 5/5 trampler. If you just have 4 permanent cards. And I don't think any of these other one. Yeah, the Myco Tyrant doesn't matter here. And then the Squirming Emergence is actually probably going to be really good in the deck too, because I can play that and that can be extra copies of the stuff in the graveyard. They can be milling stuff into the graveyard, and so I think that's going to be really good. Let's go color black. We're looking for, it's the 1 in the black. Here's what we can do. I just do CS2. Oh, my buddy was talking about this. Souls of the Lost. So this will be really good in the green-black kind of shell as well. So you get a discard or sacrifice a permanent. The deck's already doing that in the green-black version. And then this is Tarmogoyf, but again for the number of permanents. So the green-black deck's going to be really good. This card, Bitter Triumph, also looks amazing for in the same kind of shell. It's going to be really good in like a black-based Phoenix deck as well. So destroy target creature or planeswalker. You know, black hasn't really had the access to the... Anyways. Alright, I'm just gonna run a game of Enigmatic. Let's see what happens. This is my Nihilist pre-Lost Caverns of Ixalan. This is probably fine. We've got card draw and removal. I'm gonna step away for a second. Alright, up against Adventures. I think this is actually kind of a bad matchup for us, funny enough. That's a decent draw. I'm probably going to want to remove the Innkeeper, to be honest, because this is going to get them through a lot of their turns. This song's been coming on a lot lately. Oof. Uh-oh. Well, have one chain to the rocks. So I would like to develop my mana here into, because we did turn 2, 2 mana CMC, turn 3 Fable, turn 4 Enigmatic. We could clean up some stuff, but I think that might be too slow into what they're doing, because they run like, well, they're not running red at least yet. It's maybe just be like a card advantage, just because they got like Otters and Seek the Beast and stuff like that. So if that's the case, then I think I do just want to play a Beanstalk here. Okay. It's a quote-unquote land. Yeah, I think these being 1 mana is actually a really big deal, because whenever it's a cast clause as well, I mean, honestly, it's really well rated for what this deck wants to be doing, which is, of course, casting adventure spells. That's the whole point of the deck. It's the whole name of the deck. But now this deck just got a lot better with all these new spells. Unlucky Clover is a must answer. And unfortunately, we can't yet, but so we have to play this if we want to play the Enigmatic. So we will play this Glass Pool short tapped, and we're gonna play a chain. We're gonna get rid of just maybe the Innkeeper, because that means they're less likely to chain things one after the other. They don't just draw every time. This Lucky Clover is going to be really hard to deal with, because I could even just go like Petty Theft, the rocks, and the Beanstalk here. So that would be really bad. Oh, they do have red right there. Hit 1 mana, that chosen color. Sacrifice, pay 3 sacrifice, return adventure. Yeah, that's pretty good. We might get stomped here then. To our face, because then it gets copied. But I think Petty Theft is probably the best, because I can return both things, and then we're like super far behind, because then I can't play an Enigmatic out and remove things. Because if I develop to the board, if I just play Enigmatic, then there's nothing on the board, and I can't sacrifice and get rid of the Clover. Is this just the same thing as Present Borrower? Yeah, that seems insanely well costed. Wow, this is really good. Okay. Sheesh. Alright, let's just play the backside of Redain. Stop ourselves from taking damage. And then we'll move. I don't know what we do next turn. Next turn we probably just play Beanstalk Chains. But this, we take 1 damage on this current board. So they could just do this again, this is crazy. This is literally just Brazen Borrower, but like, oh, it's sorcery speed, okay. I was about to be surprised that they made it just yet another Brazen Borrower. Although Brazen Borrower, I think, is only your own thing, or your opponent's things. Okay. I don't have any main deck wipes. That's one thing I've been thinking about lately, is putting like a 1-of Supreme Verdict or something main board. It would help a lot. I mean, I've noticed there's a lot of matchups where I'm just siding it in anyways, so I'd be pre-boarding all of those matchups, and all the ones where I don't board it in, then I'd just be boarding it out, and I'd have maybe a quote-unquote dead card. Things like combo and the like. We're probably going to be bringing in both lockdowns, the verdicts. So we're going to put 2 1/1 counters. So I'm going to take 3 4. Fires is actually a really good draw. So I get to play this tapped. This is, I mean, I would love to hold on to the Fires. Um, but I just have to turn this into a Tolls Mirror right now. Spells mana way 3 or less, deals 1 damage. That's a mana dork. These are the prowess guys, so I probably do still need to kill an edge wall here. And then, yeah, that's it. Like, we're in a better spot than we were because of this Valkmira, which is nice, and this kind of goes to prove why Redain can be just better in your main board versus something like Archon or Mirror Arcane Sensor. Is because if I had Archon or Sensor right now instead of this Redain, I would not be in a good position, right? Like I can only cast one spell. Like I mean, they could also only cast one spell, but it's not that great. We'll see them bouncing this now is actually pretty great, but they're gonna have the ward trigger twice with this. They do have the mana to pay for it, which is nice, which means they can't develop another spell afterwards. But this is getting really hard to deal with. This is an insanely good card. This Steam Clean, like I'm just surprised that they reprinted another bounce spell. Okay, we're gonna trade off the Voha for the Otter if they don't cast anything else, and then I don't know. We'll trade for Innkeeper if they offer it. So if they have, it's a sorcery. So there's a possibility that they have a green instant here, and so if they're only serving with the Otter, I'm gonna offer both, and then they'll probably kill just OG Tolsmere here. The fact that they keep being able to just bounce everything off of our board is like a huge deal, and like it's really, really. I guess I don't have time to deal with this Clover. Like that's the main problem is this Clover, but I can't deal with it right now. If I draw another land, I can though. So if I go Beanstalk, okay, yeah, I don't know why they didn't do this pre-combat. Then they could have attacked with this. Let's play the Beanstalk and let's see if we draw a land. If we draw a land, we get to play Enigmatic. Sealed. Okay. And so then now we play Enigmatic. Actually, we might have to play the Shield here, which really sucks. I think we have to play the Shield because we're that far behind right now. They have another Steam Clean, then we're just dead. This is just this is insane how strong this is. Just the Lucky Clover is the linchpin, and like I said, the edge wall. I wanted to answer that early. Them being able to just bounce that and something else was really brutal for us. But looking at this board state, if I had a temporary lockdown, I would just destroy their world. But they would also be able to just bounce it with the Steam Clean. But if it's bounced, I can just play it again. So it's not as bad. It's just a hard answer. They're just going to serve. Okay, we're going to take out these Innkeepers. That's free, 1, free, 1, so that's 2, 3. I take 3. Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a way to Brazen Borrower in combat. Gonna stomp me. Damage can't be prevented. Okay. Well, it's not. Oh, I guess it is preventing damage. Yeah, I mean, like, I literally can't do anything about this. I'm very certain. I mean, they have 3 even if the Valkyrie still works, but just damage can't be prevented, so. Wow. They did have white creatures. It's mostly green, and they had the otters. Blood Mage is out. Redane stays in. Deputy stays in. Dogs stay in. I think all of this stays in. Maybe cut 1 fires. It seems like or Fable seems slow here. Um, Probably a reunion just because of bringing lockdowns. I want to have the 4 chains. Normally I side 1 out with the lockdown matchup, but it just seems like I need to answer the turn 1 innkeeper like I would a turn 1 elf, and I can do that with this hand. And I have more removal. I just don't have any action beyond that, which is kind of a bummer. So I just have to hope to find card draw spells and the like. Okay, that's a decent draw. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. That's a pretty decent draw. Means we get to Enigmatic next turn. I don't know what we get. Maybe Wandering Mind, so I can try to find the temporary lockdown. That's probably what I want to do. Oh, I can't. I don't have a 2-mana enchantment. Well, um, yeah. I guess I'm kind of forced into it. I'm really thinking I want to keep this fires around, but they have blue up, so they might still have like petty theft. We didn't see any game 1, but that dry cleaners thing was sorcery speed, but petty theft is not, and it's still pioneer legal. So I mean, it's possible they could also sideboard spin. Yeah, I think they're gonna make the decision for us to bounce. I was right. Oh, cool. No, that's fine. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna say, oh no, we're gonna not sacrifice anything. And then what we can do next turn is I can have Fires Elish Norn and then get Tolsmere maybe. Depending how they develop to the board. If they get like a Lucky Clover. Lucky Clover was like probably the thing that put the nail in the coffin last turn. Okay, well, obviously drawing Tolsmere is bad. I may just have to sacrifice the chain here. and draw 2 with my dog to catch back up to their 8 and let them have a turn of card draw. They haven't been developing the board at all, which is concerning. Maybe they overboarded, or I don't know. It seems like they have another petty theft here. That's impressive. Good for them, I guess. Jesus. Do they have a third petty theft? Stomp? Okay, sure. Okay, well, if they develop to the board, we get to Tolsbury next turn. Getting time locked feels bad. It's kind of getting frustrating. Which is really, really weird that this deck, like that the newest adventures were enough to make this deck from like mild, like meh to actually pretty decent. So that's really interesting to see. Let's just go attack. I mean, let's. Yeah, let's just start developing. We can just gain 12 here, even though we're not doing removal. I mean, normally this would be a board wipe and it'd be amazing, but we don't get that luxury. Okay, well, I really was hoping to find a land, but yeah, I'm gonna cast their Borrower and draw. What is this? Mill 7, put all cards of adventure cards from among them into your hand. That seems really good. Is it not gonna show me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, okay. They get to draw at least one card here if they cast any of these adventure spells. Yeah, this one, it doesn't a double. Permanent spells and adventure cost 1 less. Okay, so they get to draw 2 spells. Actually, that's nice. And the other cool thing is it's a cast trigger, so they still get this even with Elish Norn out, so that's nice. You get to cast the Bone Crusher. Here. Probably going to Fateful Absence this next turn, depending on what I draw. I mean, hopefully I draw like a 2 mana enchantment or something like that, so I can go get Wandering Mind and like start again moving my game plan forward, although I may want to get rid of this Fires, because I have 2 of these Fateful Absences in hand. We shall see. Yeah, we'll just see what happens. Yeah, they just got to draw 3 cards. So that was definitely more than I thought I was going to be giving them. So what I could do is I could just like... So I play this land. Okay, and then I'm going to pay 3. Is there anything I can do before combat? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, because I have exactly 6 instead of 7. This would have been way, way better. But so I'm just gonna cast Yorion here. I'm gonna keep the Fires in play because I need to be able to cast this. I'm going to lose Yorion. That's fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to just like get Kenrith at some point. We need to gain 12 more life. Okay. Yeah. I think we just hit submit. I don't think disputes do anything here. They have, like, you know, a few blue spells and things, but I don't think that helps us any. And then Larcenist doesn't. Oop. Larcenist doesn't hit any. Doesn't hit any of their adventures because they're all on creatures. Cue up a song. Alright, that one was nice because they didn't get the Lucky Clover. Lockdown is nice, but I actually have no mana to be able to cast it, and it's not even white mana, so we gotta go down. No second land. We're on the draw. If we draw a land, we're in a good spot, relatively. We have 2 turns to find a land, and then we have a lot of removal, so... Sure, I'm definitely gonna get punished for this, but let's just play it out. I mean, I think this deck's gonna be hard for me to fight against, anyways. Yep. All right. Scarier by the minute. If we don't find the second land, we probably should just concede, depending on what we see. I can give it like till turn 3, maybe. Well, I guess I should have specified when I asked for a land. So we can chain to the rock something that they play on turn 3, or maybe we want to, depending if we draw a land or not, and we want to lead on the beanstalk, hope to draw a land, and then, God, I hate how this works on this thing. Ugh, God, Lucky Clover. I probably needed to answer that just immediately. We need to find a land. Okay, that's a good one to hit, because that means our Leyline Bindings, which I now have 2, that would be up our 1 mana, so that's actually a big deal. And we can probably even cantrip off them if they don't get returned to my hand with the Steam thing. But they may not do it because they have the Lucky Clover, and it'd be like kind of like losing out on value. But I have to be careful that this doesn't get like, I don't know. Because I could go to binding, and I could theft the binding in response, and then they bounce 2 things, and then I could binding again. So who knows? It's a decent draw. So I have Fires Enigmatic, right? And I'm on turn 4, so I did end up drawing pretty decent because I drew kind of what I needed to a degree. This Lucky Clover is really strong. And if they have Petty Theft, they get to put back both Fires and Enigmatic and just fully time walk me. So I'm just going to go into their end step, maybe. And then I want to do in their upkeep. This way I make them spend their mana. Sure. kind of sucks. I would like to not take 4, but, you know, whatever. We have a second stomp? Jeez. Alright, we're gonna do this now then. That's nice, because we could potentially cycle that if we want to. So just 8, casual 8 damage. Insane. We don't need to do this in the upkeep anymore. The petty theft, that kind of sucks. Okay. If I don't have to respond to anything, then... Oh, they just left red up, so that's nice. They have stomp possibly again. But I get to go chain to the... Oh, there we go. There's a petty theft. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Fable or Binding, hit this. And then I'm going to Fires Enigmatic next turn. And then I will maybe get... I want more. Let's play this. Fires. And then I'm actually going to sack the one with the Lucky Clover under it. And then I can destroy it with Titan. And so I'm going to destroy, create a 4/4. And then we have flipped Redain and Chain to the Rocks on the next turn. I discard the Bramble Familiar, okay. Yeah, them not having the edge wall and then me fighting over this Lucky Clover is what has made this game be a little bit better, but taking 8 just in one fell swoop from this Bone Crusher didn't feel very good. There's nothing I could have done about it, though, because, I mean, they could have just responded regardless. So I'm still happy the way I did it. I was playing around with Petty Theft and I didn't have it. So, we'll just see what they go from here. I only discarded 1 card. It means their hand, there's 3 other than Bramble Filler are fine. So, playing a land, though, is interesting. They may have that 1/5 mana thing. The mill. Okay. Okay. That's not bad. Alright. Now we're in a pretty good spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go ahead and Fires. And I'm gonna Fires the Bone Crusher here. I'm gonna go swing. Then I'm gonna put Yorion in hand, cast Yorion. Are they gonna Petty Theft the Titan? Petty Theft the Chain? Okay, yeah, that's completely okay. Are they gonna double block the Titan? Yeah, that's fine. One, 2, 3. Cast. So what am I going to want to sack? Because the Atrax is in my hand. There's Comb as an option. I could sack the Fires to get... I think I may want to sack the Beanstalk to go get something to answer this Fable. And so I don't think I need to bounce this Fires. Oh, I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I've got this binding. So I've got 6 cards in hand. What do I do to start getting myself ahead on board? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I probably just want to sacrifice the Beanstalk, and then if I draw a land, I can cast the Atraxa and then something else. So I could get Glass Pool and pull my stuff to hand, then it can't be responded to. But I think I'm just going to get a Wandering Mind here, and then just maybe I can draw something fun. Sure. Second Enigmatic. Okay, we're in a good spot now. I really wish I would have had the Titan in play, because then I could have done some more gross things, but I think... Okay. They can draw 1 card, unless they have that other guy that reduces the mana value. They'd have to come from their hand. This edge wall is still just like impressive how much cards it draws. It's weird to see them running the Otter. I guess just as a 1 mana cantrip. It's Bone Crusher. Yeah. And they haven't played land for turn, so I guess they could theoretically draw a land and play the Brazen Borrower. They probably should have done it the other way though, play the Borrower, and then, because then any land lets them cast this Bone Crusher versus just blue casts the Borrower. Okay. Let's go Beanstalk, see if we find a land. That's fine. Okay. No land. Not having instant speed stuff is kind of a bummer here. We're going to be fighting the whole board dead. So let's just swing in. Let's get Fires. To Hellish Norn. This. Tollsmere. This. This. And we say pass. Now, I don't think they can come back from this. And we have lethal next turn. Alright, we got there. Thanks for the game. Alright, looking for another game of Enigmatic, listening to some good music while we wait. Yeah, just hanging out, chilling. Alright, we didn't have to wait too long, so that's pretty nice. Okay. Let's be on the play. Always best in Pioneer. 60 card. They have Gigantha, so there's likely like Rakdos, Sack, or like Pia or Convoke. This is a decent hand. I'm gonna keep this. It's a decent hand. So we'll go Jet Mirrors into turn to Beanstalk. We'll probably play the Confluence. I'll play Stomping Ground. It'll be less damage over time. Okay, we're playing against Bring to Light, or rather, specifically Niv to Light. Been playing against a lot of that lately. Okay, Plains is a good draw. I can play the Fable next turn, and then a turn for Enigmatic. Ooh, and they're ramping me? How nice. So we're just gonna, even though I can play out this Enigmatic, there's no point in it, so I'm gonna play the Fable, and then next turn I can go Beanstalk Enigmatic. Oh, I see they're trading because they wanted their own Beanstalk. How greedy of them. We probably... We're not discarding anything. This sand is pretty good into this. Alright, so this is going to be a game of attrition. We're going to have to fight over card advantage. Drawing the Elish Norn is really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Fable, Heliod, and I'm going to get back the Beanstalk. And I'm going to try to drop the Elish Norn next turn. Okay. Sure, what did I get? Sure. So 4 mana rollback. I've got. It's probably better for me to develop this Elish Norn than it is to develop the getting rid of this Enigmatic here. So let's go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I didn't find land. So if I didn't, still have, I still have 2 green. So if I find land, I'll play the Elish Norn. If I don't, I'll play the frill back and get back my Enigmatic. Perfect. Alright. Censor, disputes, larcenist, vetoes, and verdict. I don't know if they're playing Omnath, so I'm not bringing in the volleys. We're bringing out Callous Blood Mage, Toll Zamir, and then we're gonna bring out probably Chain to the Rocks because I don't want to double their ETBs really. I'm gonna cut 2 fires, even though fires is really good here. Because what that does is it just like it can set me back enough. Oops, it's not what I meant to open. Let's see. Alright, what else do I do against Bring the Light? I cut 1 pupper. Okay. Cut the Blood Mage, cut Deputy. So I don't want to be doubling their ETBs again. So, like I said, this is going to be fighting over card advantage there, right? So what I did is I kept playing Beanstalks and I kept developing to the board. This hand's really bad because I don't have any untapped lands or any source typed mana. This one's better. We'll put back the Cav. Play Ketri and Foundry. So this is going to be fighting over card resources here. So I was just constantly playing that Beanstalk, and it was causing my opponent a lot of problems. I'm going to play the Ketria first, because then I could potentially just play, if I draw a Binding, I could play Sacred Foundry and tapped, and then I've got, well, I guess that would have been an argument to play the Raffine's Tower first, but yeah, whatever. I have blue up both ways, so double Raffine's Tower is really interesting, but now we've got this Dispute. I'm not really sure what I hope to hit, but because I have my Landswood play out, I can actually nibble Larcenist next turn. I can just see what's all in their hand, and that'll be nice. They went and found Plains, which is interesting, as opposed to any other typed land. I guess they must have basics in their lands. Now they've got Leyland Binding for 2. They're just going to buy Giganta. Okay. Well, I'm definitely just going to Larcenist them. Wow. So is... Okay. Interesting. I don't know what to make of this hand. 3 bindings. So me not developing to the board is actually great. And they had 2 basics in hand. And they can't cast anything, right? Like, this is pretty good for me. Let's develop the Raffine's Tower. No, let's do the Spara. It gives me more green. Let's attack. I probably want to counter the Giganta because I can't do much about that, because I can try to chain to Roxy, but then it gets Leyline Binding. Well, so maybe that is a reason to do it, because then I can force them to spend 2 Leyline Bindings. So if I go Chain of the Rocks and the Giganta, they go Leyline Binding, I go counter. Oh no, we're absolutely countering the Fibblethip. I forgot he had this in hand. We got the Fabled Passage gone. Okay. Attack. Raffine's Tower. This in hand. Yeah, so I have 2 cards I don't know about, but then 3 of those are binding. So I don't have a way to beat that many bindings, I don't think. Omnath is a great draw, so they are Omnath to light. Yeah, this is great for them. Means I get to cast this Giganta. Or a Niv, if that's somehow what they're also playing. Nice. What do you do with 6 mana? Bring to Light is also a possibility. Okay, yeah, they just cast the Giganta. I think I'm going to chain the rocks to Omnath. They left themselves kind of floating. Actually, I'm going to do the Giganta because it'll have Summoning Sick. And I don't want to let them draw another card off this Omnath. Not drawing into any like 2 mana, 3 mana enchantments has been really weird. Three bindings, Tamio, Chrome Host, Seed Shark. Okay, interesting. Tamio, what do they return? Tap a target artifact creature, exile non-permanent mana value X from graveyard, create a token copy. Chrome Host, and they're gonna play a binding. Okay. Could play 2 bindings. Alright, 1 binding down. This is actually like specifically, so I might need to bring deputies back in if they're playing the Seed Shark. That's fine. 7 mana. What are they gonna do with that? Play Tamio, I guess, post combat. There's just 3. I need 4 for this. Seed Shark's gone. Ellishnord? Okay. They're gonna binding the chain here. These would just 2 mana. Transform them. That's a lot of damage to try to reconcile. I trade. Yeah. That may be what kills me here. Is I can trade for 1, block here, and then I take 6, 10, 12 exactly. So if they pay for it, we'll just concede. Okay. You can tap it. Oh, okay. They're gonna tap down the Ellishnord. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm gonna bring back in the deputies. I think I would have wanted that there. The game was just really weird because I didn't see any of my 2 mana cantrips. Like any of my, I think I could probably bring back in a dog, maybe drop a Fable. They're on Omnath and the Seed Shark. So if I'm bringing in all of these, I cut more chains, is usually what I do. So I cut this, a bit of Reunion, Blood Mage, Tolsmere. Yeah, I go down to 3 chains, probably 4 even, because they have so much ways to get rid of my chains, and if I've got these rending volleys now, then I'll just use my bindings to answer like Gigantha or the Planeswalkers or whatnot. This is a no. We have card draw on 2. We put Kenrith back. I'm not going to be able to play that Nimble Larcenist for a while. But we can go Bitter Union, discard the Companion. It's an okay draw. Okay. Yeah, I would have hated to draw those back to back, but I would like to see a land now. Probably gonna Bitter Union away the second Spirit of Companion. I know that's sacrilege. It's just just disavow the dog, but yeah, that's probably what we're doing. Because I need to find this land. Nice. Nice. This may not have BTL at all. This may just be just like a fair Omnath deck. Just like, yeah. This almost looks like a standard deck that just got some other Pioneer cards added to it, almost. Which would suck. Because that means I'm losing to a standard deck. But, I mean, that's fine. Omnath is good. Fabled Passage. I mean, they spent 2 of the Fabled Passages already. Which means that's 2 less that I'd have to worry about with the Omnath. I have Omnath next turn, which is good. Yeah. Yeah, because I've got white there. So I don't have any black. So I'm playing just playing the Wandering Mind here. Hopefully we find a binding. Ooh, Supreme Verdict's really good too. That's a tough call, because if I get Fires, I play Fires, play Larcenist, and I just pull something out of their hand, and then I can start. I think I do want the binding in the end of the day. But I think Fires was also probably a pretty good choice too there, in this spot at least. But having Elish plus binding is like, the dream, right? Okay, sweet, I get to exile that. Yeah. We're not gonna do anything with this one red mana. Oh. I'm still going to exile this. And then I'm going to hold up the volley for any, like, Omnaths or the like. And that way it can't be countered or interacted with, really. I would have liked to find another land there, obviously, so I can start getting this Elish Norn out. I don't know if they have an answer to it other than that Chrome Hostitruc, which I just exiled. Okay, so they also have Rending Volleys. That's good to know. Okay. I have to keep that in mind. If I draw a land, that's great. But I don't know if they have anything like Dreadbore or, Assassin's Trophy or, all those kind of things. Is Omnath? Beanstalk Worm. Yeah, that makes sense. Beanstalk would be nice. Enigmatic is decent, actually. What do I get, though? Maybe just a Redain? It means they would have to pay 3 mana for a binding. Then there would be... I mean, we can just... I probably need to answer this worm. I know it's weird to say, but yeah. And I'm not going to attack either. No, we'll dom in the end step, so I definitely can't attack, but yeah. Sure, love to see a cycle. Okay, they're just going to go into combat. I'm going to block. kind of do wish I pulled the fires at this point, because I would have been really far ahead if I had fires. What? Let's see. Skyclave is gone. What do we pull out? Pulled out the Blood Mage. Tolsmere. What else do we have? So we have Wandering Mines. The Deputy's out. Blood Mage is in the sideboard. We brought in the Censor. So we could potentially do this Censor here. I have no idea what's in their hand. And then that prevents them from doing anything. So I think just getting this out is in fact a big deal. They've spent already one of their Leyline Bindings. Or not Leyline Bindings, Rending Volleys. They're going to Leyline Binding the Enigmatic here. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. We'll get it next turn. And we'll pick up the token in the Binding next turn. We're not going to block with the Elishnorn. What I'll probably do is I'll block the token with this Deputy. I'm not going to block the token because if they do have another Rending Volley, then I'm out of luck here. But it's been nice seeing this all 3 games, even though the last game it was like a little late. The Chroma Sea Shark is what got them last game. This 3-3 has been like really good for them though. Was this 4-4? Top 3, put one of them in your hand and the rest on the bottom, so it's like a card advantage thing. Okay. Well, we've got the Rending Volley. So we're gonna volley the Zergo, binding, hit art, their binding, and the token. Oh, so they return that to hand. Interesting. Okay, let's actually think this through. So I have to get a flying blocker so I can get a track, so. Yeah. So their Leyline Binding we turned off, so I actually don't mind. And I don't have fire, so I can just hold up all of this stuff. I'm not going to attack again for the same reason that I wasn't going to block with the Yellow Storm, but I am going to get this a track, so. Running Volley. Actually, No, Running Volley is probably better. Besiege you. I'll keep the glass pool in the deck and I'll take the fires. Definitely Binding, Dispute, Otawara, and that's it. Okay. So we got options. Probably the Larcenist and the Veto. And the fires. Choose odd. Blue. One. Okay, that was a good turn for them. I can play the Elishnorn next turn, hold up another. Actually, can't. I need a 2-mana binding. 3, 4, 5. So I can go just get some more good spells. It's a 0. Why do they attack with a 0? Okay, that's nice. Let's just draw 2. Beanstalk. Binding. Let's discard a Reddening Volley. Again? Wow. That's impressive. 2 extinction events back to back is pretty insane. Why did they fetch right there? We have Somnath now? Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need to develop a flying blocker. Oh. Absolutely doing this. Let's just play a bear binding. gain 5 life and put a shield counter? You can hold up the dispute binding and absence here. Sure. What happened to the other one? I thought I had one. I don't know. Besiege you, I besiege you. Nice. So, super grindy game. Played another tap land, okay. There we go. That gives us the 1 mana binding. We still haven't even got to our Yorians yet. What I'm gonna do is just play this Fable, get a Heliod. Alright, so I've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No, we can't. We can't get the Yorian yet. But I really want it. Sure. They have. I'm showing lethal on board. They have like 4th fucking extinction event. Boy, that sucks. They probably have a land. The question is, they have 3 Fable Passage gone, so. And they have 4 basics out, so they may be out of both. I don't see them running 4 Passage, would I? Are they gonna cycle another Omnath? Okay. Yeah, this happens. We get to discard 2 lands off of this Fable, though, so that's really nice. Define 2 action spells. They have 28 cards in their deck left. Play Swamp. Okay. Alright, good spells, good spells. 1, 2, Leyline Bindings Engraved. That's a good spell. Running volley. I should have done that with the stomping ground, to be honest. Actually, no, that's fine because let's throw back here. If I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, I've got enough to buy and play Yorion. If they have binding, we just have to. Let's see what they hit. Because I get to respond to my main still. Sure. Green. 1, 2. Green. 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 Done. Let's do all 3. Destroy. I mean, this Leyline or this mystical dispute is probably not going to happen, to be honest. So we could just hold up the blue spell. They're down just 2 Leyline bindings, 2 beanstalks, 1 Omnath, 2 beanstalk, 3 beanstalk worms. Oh man. Good for them. Wow, there's the 3rd beanstalk. Okay. I think I'm ahead, but I could be wrong. It just, yeah, I've got 2 to their 4, but I have a bigger board, and sure. I think I just fire this off now. I mean, I just want to restrict their mana. I don't have a better time to use it. Let's take them off 3 mana for this turn. They can tap down the Titan and then it doesn't untap. And I'm actually really happy that I exiled their graveyard, huh? Because I could have returned, I don't know, any of these things. Another beanstalk. Ooh-wee. We're killing a shaman if they present. Okay. So I guess let's draw, because there is, like, if I happen to find a bitter reunion that does change, I just play it and go to combat. 2, 5, 9. That's Exexies. Alright, wow. That was tough, but we got there. That was, wow. What a grindy game. We're both down to exactly the same time. 7:17. That's kind of interesting to see. Wow. Whew. What a game.